Welcome to Week 3 class. For the first 2 weeks now, you have been studying in Chapter 1 and have been studying major topic areas such as morality, ethics, and human behavior. Now, material in the textbook covered the definition of important terms. It also reviewed the concept morality in the law, and it discussed morality and human behavior, and spent some time outlining how to analyze an ethical dilemma. In Chapter 2, we will explore major ethical systems, but by no means will we discover them all. We will learn, however, that ethical systems are about ordered principles that define what we culturally consider to be right or good human acts under various circumstances. In each of the ethical systems we will review, each one attempts to answer the question, what is good? But looks at the question in different ways. Sometimes each theory can reach the same conclusion to an ethical dilemma, but uses several different ethical systems to get there. But sometimes, however, using different ethical systems has a downside. Mainly it has a downside because they result in contradictory outcomes in determining the actual goodness or the righteousness of an act. Now, in addition, you will also see in Chapter 2 that ethical systems are more complex to apply than they are to explain. For instance, one ethical system you will study is called utilitarianism, and it's fairly easy to explain and understand, but the actual measurement of what is meant by utility of any given act is often difficult and complex, as you will discover for yourself in future scenarios. In another example, ethical formalism says it is required and therefore always right to do one's duty. But ethical formalism does not help when we must make a choice between conflicting duties. For example, when faced with a circumstance of having to arrest a family member as a police officer, would or could you? Now, the ethics of care, while emphasizing relationships, is unfortunately vague in providing steps necessary to resolve many ethical dilemmas. And lastly, the concept of situational ethics. It may help to answer the question whether ethics is ultimately relativistic, that is, it has no absolutes, or universal, that is, it applies to everyone all the time. By studying Chapter 2, you will come to see how hard it can be to arrive at the right decision, since being right is very complex, and will often come down to you applying your personal value system to any given situation. Now, please continue with this week's assignments, and be sure to watch the short video dealing with the source of your value system. The video is in Week 2, Section 2.5, and is very enlightening. If you haven't already seen it, I highly recommend you do so. So have a good week for now, and I'll talk with you soon.